My name is Logan, and this is a Once Upon a Book Club unboxing for our September Young Adult selection. You can probably hear something rattling around in there, which means it'll be super fun to check out what fell out of a box that I'm supposed to be hiding from you guys. So we will take a look in just a second. Disclaimer, if you have not opened your September box or if you are still waiting for one that you just ordered to arrive, you will be spoiled. So I recommend turning off the video if you have not already seen all the gifts, heard what the book is, etc. Because there will be spoilers coming soon. And also, if you missed out on this box, we do have extras available on our website, in our shop. You can order one of these for yourself if you find yourself absolutely in love with all of these gifts that we included. So let's take a look. Inside our box this month, it looks like this. Ooh, nothing fell out. Okay, so we are going to take a look at what each of these things are and really kind of inspect what was included this month. So the first thing I put on top was our book club perks envelope. If you've never subscribed to us, this is a little bonus that we include to all of our subscribers. Basically, it includes a bunch of coupons and little information about books that we didn't necessarily include in our box, but we still think they're awesome, that you should check out, or like bookish goodies like coffee, or like reading products, things like that. So definitely check it out if you have not already, or like if you just are curious as to what it is. So also included every month is our 5x7 design, which this one says, "She believed she could, so she did." And I love the background on this. With the trees, I just think it's so cute. Also included was our pamphlet. I totally blanked on what it was called. Pamphlet that we include every month. So in the right side, we have our times for our read-alongs, as well as which gifts you should have in your box. On the left, we have our discussion questions. And in the middle, we have our author meet and greet information, which we actually have author Carolyn Leach. She will be meeting and greeting with you guys on Instagram on the 22nd of the month. So stay tuned for that. That is coming up on Monday. Monday? Coming up really soon. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be posting updates and all of that good stuff. So on to the gifts we had for this month. So the first one, not in chronological order, obviously. Page 328 was this envelope. Page 310 was this adorable box, which I love. It's got like wood slices all over it. Page 115 was in this little bag with like a wood pattern. And page 98 was wrapped up like this. Much prettier. I've destroyed it. And finally, the book this month was In Another Time by Carolyn Leach. So excited to include this book. This was our first historical fiction novel in our young adult box. It was super fun to create gifts from another time, and we hope that you guys enjoyed it. So Carolyn Leach was awesome enough to sign book plates for all of our readers, and she customized them to say, "Welcome to Auchton Blair," which was the camp that Maisie worked at in Scotland while she was cutting down trees during World War II. So that was super awesome of her to include. So let's dive into the gifts. The first gift was on page 98, and that was this big flat one right here. So on page 98, we had our open our gift tab at the bottom, and this said, "Maisie realized she was staring and looked away before he noticed how to work out what to say next. So now we have established that you can read and write," she said, pointing at the books. "Can I ask what you are currently reading and writing? Is that a notebook?" John regarded the books in his hand. "Yes, it's a notebook," he said eventually. "And what do you write in your notebook? I'm intrigued." "Some thoughts, some ideas, whatever comes to mind really, nothing much." John shifted the book so that the red was on top, as if he wanted to hide the black. He didn't seem entirely comfortable, so Maisie didn't press him. "And the other book, is that a novel?" John ran his fingers across the other book, tracing the line of silver lettering pressed into the red cloth on the front. Then he lifted it toward Maisie, and she took a few steps toward him so she could read the title. And that is right where our Open Our Gift tab is. So inside of the package, one can assume we have the red book, and we do. The red book was In Flanders Fields and Other Poems by John McCrae, which was a book of poems written in during World War I. So it was really awesome that we were able to recreate this book for the box, and we hope that you guys enjoyed getting a book within a book box. Little bonus. So that was the first gift. That book plays a huge role throughout the rest of the novel, so we had to definitely make sure we included it. The second gift was on page 115, right here. So on page 115, we readers found the Open Your Gift tab, and this said, "Are we very immature?" Dot suddenly asked, not to care about how we look. "If running around like curly-haired chickens," replied Maisie, "means that you're a mature woman, then I'll keep my childhood, thanks. Anyway, you know Violet won't let you and me anywhere near the camera." Even so, both girls were wearing their best uniform, dress shirts instead of their usual tired and torn ones, and Dot had even given their work boots an extra rub over with the brush and polish that morning. And while Maisie's hair still wasn't long enough for rolls, she had happily agreed to Rose's suggestion that wearing a pretty headscarf might keep her hair out of her face while she was working. But that was all the sprucing she would do. She wasn't interested in getting too fancy, even for a camera. And that was right where our Open Our Gift tab was. So this next gift inside of this package here was Maisie's headscarf. So I won't lie, I do not actually know how to professionally put this on. I am going to end up watching a ton of YouTube videos trying to figure it out, so I will not embarrass myself right now. But I absolutely love the pattern on this. It is super soft. It's got plenty of extra tidbits around the elastic to tie up into a pretty bow, and I just think this is perfect. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. The next gift was on page 310, and this is, like I said, this is probably my favorite packaging from the young adult box. I just love the wood slices being used. It's totally so soft, right? Not this box, the headband that Francesca just commented about. Super soft, like you don't want to take it off. It's wonderful. But let's check out page 310. So on page 310, as we near the end of the book, we find our third Open Our Gift tab. And on this page, it says, actually, we're going to start on 309. "Wasn't this a fine idea?" squeaked Dot as she tossed her mattress down, adjusting it to lie parallel to Nancy's. She gestured to Maisie to lay hers beside them. "Why didn't we think of it earlier? And if we stuffed the bottom of the doors with our towels against the drafts, we'll be as warm as July." Maisie dropped down on her mattress next to the oven, tucking her blanket tight around herself as Dot finished pouring, blocking the drafts, and sat back down. Nancy was pouring out 3 mugs of thick black tea from a heavy teapot on the counter. Nancy's other brilliant idea, said Dot in a loud whisper, was to make a pot of tea before bedtime so it would be perfectly steeped by the time we got back here. "More stewed than steeped, I'm afraid." Nancy handed me one of the mugs to Maisie. It's more like tar, and there's no milk left either, but at least it's warm." And that's right where Open Our Gift tab is. So inside the box is the mug. So actually, author Carolyn Leach reached out, and she absolutely loved this because a tin mug would have been exactly what they would have taken out into the fields while they were working. So this was perfect for the time period, and we even included Nancy's tea mug on the tag. We had this custom printed, and it says "The Adventure Begins," and we also included a little pine tree tea strainer, which I think is absolutely adorable, as well as the little strainer setter, so you can leave it without, can't balance it, you can leave it without worrying that it's going to get tea all over your counter when you're not using it in your mug. So this was absolutely adorable. I hope that you guys loved this gift. It was probably one of my favorites in this box other than the book and this next gift coming up. This box just had a ton of wonderful gifts, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And the final gift was on page 328, and we have that here. So on page 328, this said, actually we're going to start on page 327, and here we go. You told me that you didn't know where your friends had been buried, Maisie said quietly. Do you remember? Slowly, John nodded. Well, after that, I wrote to the War Office to find out. I asked where Privates Clarkson and McGinnis of the 2nd Manchesters were buried after being lost on the 3rd of June on the beach at Dunkirk. But the War Office never replied. Maisie pulled the envelope back and held it up so he could see the typescript and the crest on the front. Until this week, when this arrived from a Captain Andrews. In his letter, he says that there are no graves registered for those 2 soldiers, either in France or in Great Britain. John's shoulders visibly sagged. But Captain McGinnis also said, Maisie continued quickly, since she knew this must be torturing John, that he checked some other records and miraculously found that both Private Clarkson and Private McGinnis on those lists instead. Which lists? John said doubtfully. The Red Cross lists for prisoners of war. Your friends didn't die, John. They were captured, not killed, and they're being held in a POW camp somewhere. It's all in here. Maisie held out the letter to him again, and this time he took it. And that's right where our Open Our Gift tab is. So inside of the envelope, we included, if I can open it, the letter from Captain Andrews. So this says, Situation Report. Thank you for your letter. I regret to inform you that Private Walter Clarkson and Private Nicholas McGinnis of the 2nd Manchesters have no registered grave locations after going MIA on the 3rd of June on the beach at Dunkirk. However, upon checking the Red Cross list for prisoners of war, we have discovered that both Private Walter Clarkson and Private Nicholas McGinnis are both currently held captive across enemy lines. Though we are unable to locate their exact whereabouts, we hope this helps put your mind at ease. I hope this helps with your search efforts, and thank you for awaiting this response. Sincerely, Captain Andrews. And that was what we included as our final gift. So thank you guys so much for watching. We had a ton of fun creating a box based around a historical fiction novel. We have yet to do this for a young adult book, so we were really excited that this was our first. If you are on Instagram, be sure to follow us. The author, Carolyn Leach, is awesome, and she's going to be meeting you guys on the 22nd, I believe in the evening, I think 7 p.m., but we'll be posting an update so you guys can keep an eye out for that. So make sure to tune in and ask her lots of questions. We're really excited to be hosting her. Also, Carolyn Leach is amazing in the sense that she actually recorded a complete unboxing of this whole box. So she actually filmed her opening up each gift and actually reading huge chunks from her own book. So we're really excited to share that with you. We will be posting that here on YouTube very shortly, so be sure to check that out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to opening up the October boxes with you in about a month. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next month. Bye, guys.